And thanks for joining us here at the Alaska Drone Racing League here at the Jim Creek RC Race Park in Butte, Alaska. It's the 2019 MultiGP Global Drone Racing Series brought to you by ConocoPhillips. It's the Global Qualifier practice number 4 here for the Alaska Drone Racing League. The day started out with a bit of rain as we got into our practice sessions, and now that we're into the qualifying, it looks like the sky is drying up, and it's just going to keep the dust down and hopefully some of the bugs away as well. But it's going to shape up to be a pretty decent day here out at the Jim Creek RC Raceway here. One of the best and most exciting tracks to race on out here in the MultiGP circuit. We are underway with the qualifier rounds here, the round one of heat one of round number 1 of the global qualifiers now coming up. In seat 1 will be AK Honky, seat 2 Hazard FPV, seat 3 Foggy Minded FPV, and seat number 4 is RIM. And we're just about ready to go here in this race. Awaiting the start button here and just about underway. And they're off. 4 drones up into the sky. And we don't have any real-time scoring graphics. We don't have any internet here put together for us here today, but we do have the video feeds and everybody there. Hazard FPV has found the ground here, and he is, as well as RIM. There, it's just going to be AK Honky now and Foggy Minded FPV, and now AK Honky in the ground. It's just Foggy Minded FPV is the only one in the air at this time. We'll go ahead to his feed, and if anybody else gets themselves back up in the air, we'll come back to them. For now, it's just Foggy Minded FPV in the air here with 48 seconds into the racing. Grab a time for him. That last lap time of 24.134 seconds. A fast lap time for him. On pace for 5 laps right now with that time. Everybody's still in the dirt. It's just a solo show here now for Foggy Minded FPV as he comes through the chicanes into the scoring gate here for his 3rd lap. That one at 24.264 seconds. We'll see what his average best of 3 is here. He's got 2 more laps under his belt with 30 seconds remaining in the race here. It's a little bit of a bobble there going around through gate 10 now into the split S. With 20 seconds remaining, he should have 1 more lap under his belt. Indeed, he does. On he goes. That one at 25.406, a little bit slower. So his first 3 average will probably be the ones that he's going to keep, as this one will be included in this next lap as well. So we'll see how he does on this last lap. With time expired now, it's just time to finish the lap going into the chicanes, coming around through the scoring bit, and 22.112, that was a pretty fast one, but with that 25 back there, I think those first 3 are going to be the ones that will be the one he wants. And that concludes the round 1, heat number 1 for today's race. And we are up into the air on round number 1, heat number 2 of the qualifying race here at the Alaska Drone Racing League. On this one, it's Mr. Geek FPV, FPV Maverick, and AK Drones. All 3 are up and racing in the air. Except now it isn't. FPV Maverick has found the dirt, and it's still it's Mr. Geek and AK Drones. We'll come back to FPV Maverick if we He does get himself back up into the air. So MultiGP AK drones battling it out right now out there on their second laps here. Mr. Geek posting a time of 28.671, and AK Drones a time of 37.610 on their first lap there as they coming around into the chicanes. A pretty good blur on AK Drones' camera. If he's able to see and fly with that, that's some pretty good skill there. Just kind of feeling his way through the course. Mr. Geek now on to his second lap. That one at 27.688 seconds, and as you can see, AK Drones a little bit of visibility problem out there, so he's kind of making his way slowly through chicanes into the timing gate for the end of his second lap. Now that one considerably slower, 41.131 seconds. Mr. Geek there now posting a 21.762 on his third lap there with 30 seconds left in this race. Mr. Geek's pouring on the times here, looking to pull out that round winner. We have to look and see what the scores are for the round and who's got the fastest times. We know, and a big upsetting crash there. Mr. Geek hits the starting gate and goes tumbling, and that looks like that is going to put him out for the day here, or for the race anyways. I saw some pieces come off there. He might have to put a new prop on there. That's time, and doesn't look like either of them are going to get back up, so that is it for round one, heat number 2. Made it to round 2, heat number 1. It's the same 4, going to be in each of the same heats here as we go forward here. It's chair 1, AK Honky, and chair number 2, it's Hazard FPV. Chair 3 is Foggy Minded FPV and Rim in chair number 4. Okay, now we've got everything tweaked and ready to go here. Time to race. And we have the tone and 4 pilots in the air now. So Rim just kind of landing in the infield. Not a crash, so we might be able to get himself back up. We do have some times coming through the gates now. The first one through is Hazard FPV with a time of 21.634. 30 seconds into this race, and the second one through Foggy Minded at a 33.255 on his time there. Hazard FPV completing his second lap considerably faster this time. There's a whole shot delay, it looks like it's recording, so the first time is usually a throwaway. The second one, though, a 16.817 for Hazard FPV. Still waiting for a time. AK Honky actually now pulling a time of 46.168 with 1 minute to go in the race. Hazard FPV is 16.905 on that third lap, and a little bit of trouble out there on the field there. It looks like everybody's recovered. I didn't see who that was looking up at the scoring clock there. Foggy Minded pulling his third lap down with a 22.813, a considerably faster time for the first one. AK Honky still looking to pick up that second lap, and he does just right now with a time of 42.452 onto his third lap. He goes with 25 seconds left to go in this race. We're in the big turning gate there. We don't still know what to call that there. There's some names out there we can't use on the air. And as we come around, Hazard FPV on just to his sixth lap, a 16.777 on that one. 5 seconds left to go in the race, and nobody in the chicanes right now, so it looks like that is it on the time. Everyone's going to finish their laps, and that shall be the times. Foggy Minded finishes fifth lap there with a 23.934, and Hazard FPV a bit slower on that last one, 18.658. AK Honky finishes a third lap as well, 44.934. We'll see where those consecutive laps come out here in just a second. And we have our quads placed out on the track here now for round 2. Heat number 2 is Mr. Geek, FPV Maverick, and AK Drones. Looks like they are ready to go. So waiting for the tone here. Tone's up, the quads are in the air, and we have the pilots flying here. Mr. Geek FPV, FPV Maverick, and AK Drones. We'll have to readjust the chair for seat number 2 there, as it's pointed the wrong seat, but we'll see what the first times are. Everybody's right behind each other here. FPV Maverick drawing first blood on that one with Mr. Geek quite close behind him there by 2 seconds. It's 24.352 and 26.954 on the split there. AK Drones now making his way through the start gate at 33.621 seconds. So a little bit of a battle out there between Mr. Geek and FPV Maverick. As FPV Maverick stretches out the lead there. He's through the gate now at 20.710, and 6 seconds now behind him is Mr. Geek FPV. So FPV Maverick stretching the lead a little bit there. AK Drones now on his second lap with a nice time of 27.237 seconds, and it's Mr. Geek FPV finding the grass. FPV Maverick now kind of in sole command of this race, but it's kind of what times you get. So we're not racing against each other head to head. You're racing against the times that you're wanting to get here. And FPV Maverick now posting a 19.830 on that last lap. So he's really picking up the pace now onto his 4th lap with 24 seconds left to go in this race. Mr. Geek FPV looks like he's done for this one, as it's just FPV Maverick and AK Drones with 14 seconds to go on the race.
FPV Maverick on first.
So AK Drones there with 3 laps. His last one 36.8, 26. Sorry, AK Drones 23.373. So the race is over. The laps just need to be completed here. It's FPV Maverick getting through the gate with 6 laps on that one, 24.6265 on that time. Mr. AK Drones with a fast time there, 23.373 on that last lap. So actually he is looked like he might have done one of the faster laps AK Drones did in that last bit of the course. So we're done with the race now. And that's it for round 2, heat number 2. Now on to round 3, heat number 1. Same 4 guys at the lines. The computer is on track, and we are started there now, and there's 4 quads up into the air. So it looks like AK Drones has found the dirt over there, as is Mr. Geek FPV. It's FPV Maverick and Foggy Minded FPV. Excuse me, I got the wrong. We need to put the right pilots on where everybody is there. So it's actually AK Honky, Hazard FPV, Foggy Minded FPV, and RIM. So everybody's back up into the air.
Foggy Minded FPV in second. Hazard FPV in first.
Hazard FPV with 3 laps already with a time of 17.237 with a 1 minute left to go in the race. Foggy Minded FPV, the only other one to get through the gates right now at 44.557. on his time. AK Honky and Rim still have not found the starting gate. So now there's 3 down in the dirt there. AK Honky, Foggy Minded, and Rim. It's just Hazard FPV out there right now. We'll go to his pilot cam and we will show the other 3 if they get up into the air. Indeed, Hazard FPV has gotten back up into the air as well, or AK Honky has as well. And that is the race. So we have moved on to round 3, heat number 2. The 3 pilots have placed their quads and are ready to get going on the tone. We are awaiting the tone now. 3 quads up into the air. It's Mr. Geek FPV, FPV Maverick, and AK Drones now duking it out on the course. And already we've got AK Drones just on the gate number 2. It looks like his kind of pile drived it into the ground. He's going to get himself flipped over. It looks like he'll get himself back up into the air, however. Waiting at some of the first times now through the gates. As it's FPV Maverick drawing first blood on this one, 24.423 seconds. Mr. Geek about 6 seconds behind him, 30.008. AK Drones still working on getting that up. In fact, he's out of the chair and it looks like he is done for this race as well. So it's FPV Maverick now out in the lead with that time of 20.080 second. And Mr. Geek now closing the gap as far as times go at 21.527 with just 1 minute left to go in this race. We're halfway through it here. FPV Maverick through the chicanes and the timing gate onto his 3rd lap. That one, a 22.593. And Mr. Geek considerably faster on that one, 20.901, so really bringing the times up there, and that'll factor nicely into his consecutive 3 times. FPV Maverick now ever increasing the times here. We're actually decreasing, I should say, but increasing the pressure on the times. It's 19.029 on that one, and Mr. Geek slowing down on his next lap there of 22.083. So now with 13 seconds left in the race here, it looks like both pilots, actually Mr. Geek should get one more lap out of it here as he crosses the finish line with just 3 seconds to go. That one at 21.130 to FPV Maverick's previous lap at 19.310. That's time out there. It's just time to finish these last laps. FPV Maverick will land his drone out there as Mr. Geek FPV will continue to go through the split S now. And on through the timing gate. And that will do it with 6 laps for both of them. FPV Maverick posting an 18.949 on that one. That was his last lap was a very fast one. And that's it for round of 3, heat number 2. Pilots have put their quads down on here, this round 4 heat number 1 race. The goggles are down, the quads are in place, and we are now awaiting the tone from the scoring computer.
On the tone, let's race.
Tone sounds, the quads are in the air. It's going to be AK Honky, Hazard FPV, Foggy Minded FPV, and RIM as we get the titles correct on this thing here. So Foggy Minded FPV in the dirt. Rim is in the dirt. It's AK Honky now and Hazard FPV still in the race. Get on to the two-pilot race here, and we'll go back to the other two guys if they get them up in the air. It looks like Foggy Minded FPV's got it upright. He's going to try and launch it, but it's kind of flipping off into the dirt there. And the AK Honky now in trouble. He's in the dirt as well. It's just Hazard FPV now up in the air. We'll get back to those pilots that are on the ground if we are able to get them flying again. And indeed, Foggy Minded FPV has found his way back into the air.
Hazard FPV in first.
Hazard FPV now on his third lap with the 21.891. Everyone else looking to get their first lap in. It will be Foggy Minded FPV now. That first time of 108, he's going to have to close that up for the three. The best of three is going to really hurt him there if he doesn't close that up and get 4 laps out of it here with only 39 seconds left in the race. AK Honky's still trying to do some lawn mowing out there. He's trying to flip it over, and you can hear it kind of buzzing out there. It's Hazard FPV now on his 5th lap. That's a time of 17.428 seconds, a very fast time. Foggy Minded FPV, that one a much better time of 24.834. He's going to need to finish 3 just to post a time and gain some season points as it goes.
Hazard FPV in first.
So with 5 seconds left to go, it looks like Foggy Minded FPV will post that 3rd lap, and that's all he'll get. And so that first time of over 1 minute is going to factor into his round times. But he'll be happy with that, as he will probably pick up season points one way or the other on that last race. It does look like the computer has let him through the gate there. So Foggy Minded FPV finishing one more lap, and that'll blank out that first time of 1 minute plus. So he does recover and gets 3 laps on that one, and will post a nice time and gain season points for sure on that last lap. So round 1, heat number 4, round 4, heat number 1 is complete. Round number 4, heat 2. The pilots have placed their quads. Their goggles are down. And we'll announce the race here as the scoring computer is initializing itself for this race.
All right.
Now awaiting a tone. Tone sounds as you see 3 quads into the air, and off they go. It's Mr. Geek, FPV Maverick, and AK Drones all in a big knot out there. As they go through the complex there, it's FPV Maverick finding the dirt there, getting into some trouble out there in the back stretch. Mr. Geek FPV drawing first blood on this one. A 25.802. Remember, that hole shot time does slow you down on your first time. So it looks like FPV Maverick has his goggles up. He's watching the race now. It's just a race between Mr. Geek and AK Drones right now. Mr. Geek 2 laps down. The last one at 21.601. AK Drone still on his 2nd lap now. The first lap of 35.218. And that one faster to still 27.568 for AK Drones. 50 seconds left in the race now. So we do have a external load going there, and as he goes around the corner, AK Drones with a battery hanging out the back goes flying into the ground. The force of his turn separated the battery from his drone, and that did it for him. That's 18 seconds left in the race, as it's just Mr. Geek in the air now all by himself. On to his 5th lap now. His last time of 21.322 seconds. AK Drones only able to pull off 2 laps before that battery came out, so he won't post a time on this particular round. But Mr. Geek, as the time expires, is on his final lap now as we speak. And also he does find the gate there. And he will probably finish his race there, as his time will definitely not be one that he will be able to post to raise his score. And the goggles are up. That looks like that is it for the round. Well, we've got the quads placed. It's round 5, heat number 1, as the pilots are getting ready to go here out on the track.
It's like upside down.
In C1 will be AK Honky, John and Sam from Chigiak, Alaska. We don't have any of the times captured right here, even though we are on round 5, heat 1. And seat 2, Hazard FPV, as he's cleaning up his quad out there. Seat 3, Foggy Minded FPV, and in seat 4, it will be Rim. Everything looks like it's put together now, as Hazard FPV has got his quad squared away. All the goggles are on, and we are now waiting for the tone.
Up next, race number 1. Race order.
So we're going to initialize the race here.
Hazard FPV. Foggy Minded FPV. Rim.
And now the computer is initialized. We are now ready to race, waiting for a tone. And quads are in the air and racing. AK Honky immediately into the grass there early on in the race. Hazard FPV has a little bit of chatter in his video. I'm not sure if he's seeing it on his goggles there, but he's got some interference going on there. So AK Honky still trying to get his quad into the air. We've got Hazard FPV crossing line first with a time of 24:7:93. Foggy Minded just behind him, about little under 4 seconds behind him there. 28 seconds on his. AK Honky now continuing to degrade the quality, as his quad is now upside down. And Hazard FPV has made it through his second lap, 18.409. Rim still in the air, so he's definitely got some longevity going there. He's still working on getting through his first race. And in through the chicanes, it looks like he's gonna pull off a lap here in just a moment. There it is, his official score, 106.375 for Rim. A first lap for him laid down on the track. Hazard FPV now on his fourth lap there, or fourth lap recorded, I should say, of 16.386, just as he does a little cartwheel across the course. And it's Foggy Minded FPV and Rim is done as well, so it's just a single pilot race. Once again, it's Foggy Minded FPV, and Rim actually is back up now in the air. So it's Foggy Minded FPV and Rim out on the track with 7 seconds to go. And Foggy Minded FPV done, and Rim with a beautiful view of the mesh of the net as he sticks fast into that. And that is going to be the race. Round 5, heat number 1. Those guys are done for their race. And we have made it to round 5, heat number 2, the last race of the day. It'll be Mr. Geek, FPV, Maverick, and AK Drones putting on their last laps. As the drones have been placed and their goggles are down, it's just about time to race. Waiting for the tone. The tone sounds, the quads are in the air, and off we go on to the races here. So waiting some times here as the first pilot to get through the gate. Trying to find out what the shakeout's going to be today. FPV Maverick draws first blood on the day here on this round with pretty tight spread there actually on the times. And we did have FPV Maverick into the dirt there just in that gate complex that we showed you right there. So the times on this one, 24 for FPV Maverick, 26 for Mr. Geek, and 28 seconds for AK Drones. The splits there. Mr. Geek now coming in on his second lap first, 23.944. And it's just him out there right now as AK Drones has found the weeds as well. As Mr. Geek going to be posting his final times for the day. If we do get any of the other pilots back up, we'll go back to them. For now, it's a solo race for Mr. Geek FPV out there in the complex. Bringing it around. 40 seconds left in this race. He's already on his fourth lap here. The last time, a 20.140 seconds for him. Into the chicanes he goes. We'll see if he beats that time on this one. That's about 1 second quicker for him there. 19.899 as the... now into the split S here. Coming back into the chicanes with 12 seconds left to go. He'll get one more lap, but he doesn't get that chance as he's hit one of the chicanes and spins out. He did post 4 laps, so that he will have a best 3 consecutive time on that one either way. And that is it for today. We'll get some times wrangled up for you here, and we'll see who comes out on top and present some trophies.